guys, Potent Tech here, and this is a guide on how to root your HTC Desire 816 for Virgin Mobile. This guide also works for your other 816 devices as well. This will show you how to unlock your bootloader, install a custom recovery, and to flash SuperSU. Okay, so let's head over to the PC and get the files prepared.
Now that we're at the PC, the first thing we'll actually want to do is create a new folder. This is to save all the files that we download. Now, all the links for each step will be included. Should be here. The first thing you'll want to do is download the HTC Sync Manager. You don't need to be logged in to do this specific step. You can save it. Oops. Move this over to desktop. I mean, you don't have to move it over, but I prefer to keep it slightly organized. Unbased on that folder you just saw. Okay, so yeah, you can run it normally or as administrator. I always recommend administrator. Helps to avoid any file transfer issues that require those privileges. Okay, while that's doing that, we're also going to download the mini ADB file, which is basically ADB fast boot alone. We'll also need Clockwork mod, and the SuperSU user. Direct links will be put into the description, so as soon as you click on them, it'll actually bring up the download right away, so you don't have to come to the page. Okay. You don't have to open this either. When you plug your device in, it'll automatically open the program, but you'll end up closing it out anyway if that's what you have to do. Second thing, to run the ADB setup, this is just a quick download. This is about 10 megabytes. Yes. Over the computer, C, ADB. Okay, now plug your device into your PC while it's on normally. And you'll get installing drivers. I've actually already installed the drivers previously on my PC. I just uninstalled the program to show you the process, but that's what happens. It opens up and this will come up basically stating free internal storage. Yeah, I mean it has 4 gigabytes, but it does support a 128 a 128 through the micro SD, so I mean, yeah, you wouldn't use them. So you can continue over, go back to your root process folder and actually copy over the update.supersu directly into the root of your SD, well, the root of your internal SD card, which is now, let's see here. Once we have done all of that, okay, see this file right here? This is actually a exe. Yeah, you just click on it, and do that. See that? And then it basically asks you to go into fast boot mode and to continue with the process. But before we do that, before we do any of that, what you'll want to do is navigate to your local DC, ADB. Okay, now once you're here, I need you to hold shift, right click, open command window, and now that you're on this screen, your device is plugged into the PC. At this point, we're going to go back over to the device.
Okay, so now the first thing we'll actually want to do is your device is still connected to the PC. For this next test for ADB, we actually need to remove the USB cable and head on over to your settings, hit about, software information, more, and build number. You'll actually want to start tapping this. Now, I'm already a developer for that option, but you keep doing this, it'll start a countdown. It'll basically say that you are 3, 2, 1 step away from until it says you are now a developer. Now you can press back 3 times, hit developer options, and choose USB debugging. I also recommend, for this specific phone, I recommend going into advanced and then clicking disable hardware overlays. It allows the phone to speed, and if you want, you can also uncheck animations as well, so that gives it a nice speed boost. Okay, so now once we have that into USB debugging, we'll actually want to plug this phone back into the PC. Okay, let's head back over to the PC now.
Okay, so now that we have USB debugging enabled on the device and it's plugged in with the USB debugging drivers installed, we'll actually want to test to ensure that it's detected. So we can type in ADB devices. Okay, it'll show something similar to this, depending on how many type of connections your phone is actually sending out at once. Mine actually states one for tethering, one for file sharing, one for media transfer, and one for USB debugging. The USB debugging one will say device. So once you have this, you're good to go. What I would, okay, once you see this, you want to close this out. Now head on over to the browser, and for the third step, we'll need to unlock the bootloader. Now you need to be logged in for this, and to get to this page, you'll actually need to click on the link in the description, log into this page, You can create an account, it's free. Okay. You would begin unlock the bootloader. Yes. Okay, press yes. And it tells you here to begin the unlock process. So let's head on over to our device and I'll show you how to enter fastboot.
Okay. Now with your device prepped and ready, you'll actually want to hold, well, before you do a full power off, I recommend unplugging the device once more. Because, oh, and one more thing. Also, before you do power it off to go into fastboot, you need to go into your settings, into power, and you need to make sure that this is unchecked. That it says, yeah, full fastboot is unchecked. So that way you're able to get into the actual mode. Now, go back to the home screen and power off your device. Now, you can hold volume down and the power button. And this brings up fastboot mode. So use the power button to select, volume keys to navigate, but just press power to go to fastboot. Plug your device back into the PC. Okay, great. Now let's head on back to the PC for a second.
Okay, so once we're back to the PC, you want to go down to the bottom and actually choose proceed to the next step. So got these. Okay. So now you should have this folder here. Well, you should have the ADB command open. And brings up ADB devices. Oops. Well, it won't show, but if you type in this command here, what it will show you is actually this. Now what you want to do is follow the instructions listed here. You'll need it's going to send the token file to your email address, your unlock code. So basically, I can go through the process. You right click, press mark, and then once you're finished marking it, you don't need to hold it to highlight it. It does it by itself until you click again. Just press enter. That's copy on the command line. Okay. Now it says enter it here, basically, and then press submit, and it sends you the file. Just give me one moment. This part will be blurred out. I'm actually logged into the correct email. Okay, so now I'll show this part. Okay, so you see this unlock code, that bin, it to save this in the same location, the root process folder. And then as a link that says click here to continue unlocking the bootloader. Click that. Scroll down. Now what you'll need to do is go into this folder, your root process folder. Take this unlock code bin and go to your local disk C, ADB, and paste this file in here. Now once you've done that, you just type in this right here. I've already unlocked my bootloader, so doing it again is not going to do anything. You would just press paste, and just copy it without the period at the end. Press enter. Bam. And that's it. Your bootloader is unlocked. What it'll actually ask you is this exact message: are you sure you want to unlock the bootloader? Use the volume button, press up, then press the power button. That didn't pop up on my screen because mine is already unlocked. If you ever want to relock it, you would type in this right here. You would open the command prompt inside of the ADB folder and then type this fastboot OEM lock. But it won't. It'll say relocked. It won't say locked as if the original status. That won't be changed until they're able to achieve SOF on this device. Okay, but alright, once you have this done, what you'll need to do now is actually, I'm not going to switch over to the device for this because it's pretty simple. You just press volume down until you get to reboot, fast boot, and then just press that once, and the device will power off or power back on, and it will say unlock. Okay, now what we need to do is to install your recovery. So this is a one-click process. If you haven't already, just click on this file, rename it. If you can, make sure you're able to see file extensions. If you can't, you just click on organize, folder search options, and I believe, oh, there you go. This is you just uncheck this option and press apply. Okay, and it'll allow you to add extensions to the end of the to the file name. So if it just says en when you downloaded it, add.exe, and once you have that, you just hit enter. Run. It says, are you sure you want to install? Make sure your device boot into HBoot and then fast boot. Make sure fast boot's unchecked and power options. Power off completely. Boot into HBoot, then fast boot. Okay, once you're ready, press any key, and it copies the recovery over. Okay, now it says, congratulations on your success. Now you can press the power key to switch into the HBoot mode, which it's already on. So you would just press the power key once, and then you will see the recovery option below it. So you would, below fastboot, so you would press volume down once and then select recovery.
Okay, so now you should be at this menu. As I stated at the ending of that last clip, you're already on HBoot, so you would just use the power button to select and then head down to recovery. Power button. And you can unplug the USB at this point. It's unnecessary. And okay, so you would navigate down to install zip. Choose zip from SD card. SD card is actually 0. I press volume up to get to the bottom. This power button. Select, install. Once that's complete, let's go back and hit reboot system now. At this point, you are completely rooted with an unlocked bootloader, so you're able to install a custom ROM. They only have cyanogen, however you would like to pronounce it. But I mean, with a couple of mods that I have been able to put on, so far I've gotten this device to run extremely well, including the custom mod. Okay, so as you can see, SuperSU is here. A second or two to warm up. Okay, so let's go to the Play Store and to verify that we have root access. Okay, root checker. So yeah, I've had root checker on my device. That's nothing. That's from someone else's ROM. Yeah, I've done a couple of modifications, so little things. Disclaimer. Okay. Verify root. Press grant, and there you have it. Your device has root access. I actually have Titanium Backup Manager to verify that as well. Yeah, the clock on my desktop is called Cronus. It's the same one that's in Cyanogen. Yeah. I'm gonna take off all that auto update stuff because those are battery hoggers, especially Facebook. Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You can see my software version information. Yep. Same stuff as you guys. Okay, well, yeah, well, this was Potent Tech, and I hope that this tutorial was to your liking, and don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe. Thank you, and I appreciate your time. You guys have a blessed day.